David D. Eisenhower. Alright, so those of you in high school who think that AI is going to eliminate homework, well, think again, because I'm going to show you how chatgpt is just absolutely terrible and it just can't get like very simple facts right. So I'm afraid for you high school kids, homework is not done just yet. So let's jump into this one. And I asked the AI to give me a list of US presidents. So you would think that this would be really easy. The AI, this amazing technology that's going to take over the planet and it's eventually going to wipe out humans. Let's see what it says here. So here's a list of the presidents of the United States in order of their presidency. So I don't know all of these off by heart, but let's go through some of these. George Washington, that sounds about right. George Washington, the first president of the U.S., and these dates look correct. So far so good. John Adams, yes, he was the second president. Thomas Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, John Quincy Adams, who was related to John Adams' son or grandson or something. Andrew Jackson, Martin Van Buren, William Henry Harrison, John Tyler. So these names all sound familiar to me. I'm not a massive expert on U.S. history, but I seem to recall all these names. And next we have James K. Polk. And next we have David D. Eisenhower. Guys, who is David D. Eisenhower? So David D. Eisenhower, according to AI, was the 12th president of the United States who served from 1849 to 1850. I do not recognize this name. I recognize Dwight Eisenhower, who was president like in the mid 20th century, but not in the mid 19th century. So I think we're gonna have to check a different source here, get a second opinion. So I'm gonna go to Wikipedia and let's see. So here we go. George Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, John Quincy Adams. Okay, so all these names I recognize. Jackson, Van Buren, Harrison, John Tyler, and James K. Polk. Okay, so next, remember we had, who was it? David D. Eisenhower? David D. Eisenhower. So here on Wikipedia, it's Zachary Taylor. So Zachary Taylor is a name I do recognize, so I'm gonna say Wikipedia got this one right, and it's got a photograph of Zachary Taylor, and there's a whole article about him here, and served as president, and yada yada. He was a member of the Whig Party, which no longer exists, and yeah. So according to the AI, this was actually David D. Eisenhower. Okay, guys, so I went through all of these to cross-check with Wikipedia, and they're all correct, except there's an anomaly here, because you have Grover Cleveland, who was the 22nd president of the United States. This is absolutely correct, and he served from 1885 to 1889. This is correct. And then we had Benjamin Harrison, who served from 1889 to 1893. That is absolutely correct. Well done, AI. But here is where we have another issue. The 24th president, William McKinley. Now, that is kind of true. William McKinley was the 24th person, but Grover Cleveland became president for a second time after Benjamin Harrison. So let's check it out here. Let's move down from Zachary Taylor and get down to Grover Cleveland. And as the AI correctly said, he served as president from 1885 to 1889. And it also got this one correct. Harrison, 1889 to 1893, up here. And then look at this one, William McKinley. We do not see William McKinley here yet. Well, he's down here. But look at this. Grover Cleveland, he became president after Harrison and after he had been president previously to Harrison. So he served from 1893 to 1897. And then William McKinley served from 1897 to 1901. But according to this, William McKinley served from 1893 to 1901. So what it's saying here is that McKinley served 2 terms, when in actual fact it was Grover Cleveland who served from 93 to 97. So it leaves out Grover Cleveland the second time and credits William McKinley with 2 terms, when in fact he only served 1 term. Not good, not good. And if we scroll all the way down to the end, it is updated to the present day because we have Joe Biden, the 45th president, apparently. Now, he was the 45th person, but do you remember when all these people had Trump derangement syndrome and they couldn't even utter the words Donald Trump or President Trump? So instead they started calling him 45 because he was the 45th president. Now, Trump was actually just the 44th person. Because Grover Cleveland served 2 non-consecutive terms, he is officially known as the 22nd and the 24th president. So that is why you have the discrepancy here. And Wikipedia has Trump as 45. Some people still call him 45 because they're so triggered by Trump. And Joe Biden is classified as the 46th president. So here it's Trump 44 and Biden 45. That's a minor issue compared to David D. Eisenhower. And let's come down here to Dwight D. Eisenhower, who served as president from 1953 to 1961. So it's confusing Dwight Eisenhower with Zachary Taylor. I just have no idea how it came up with this. I mean, there's no rhyme nor reason to why it would confuse Eisenhower with Zachary Taylor. Alright, so I want to find out who David D. Eisenhower is. So who is David D. Eisenhower? Oh, an error. Surprise, surprise. I'm going to reload. Alright, let's try this again. Who is David D. Eisenhower? There is no president named David D. Eisenhower. It appears that you may have gotten the name from the list of presidents that I provided earlier. The name you're looking for is probably David D. Eisenhower, who was the 11th president of the United States. His actual name was David Dwight Eisenhower, and he served from... He served as president from 1953 to 1961. What? Oh my guys, I had to pause this and just take a couple of minutes to just try and make sense of this paragraph. Because it's saying there's no president called David D. Eisenhower. The name you're looking for is David D. Eisenhower. Who was the 11th president of the United States. Now let's go back up to the original list. So now he's saying David D. Eisenhower is the 11th. And he listed it as the 12th earlier. So now David D. Eisenhower is James K. Polk. and now it's saying his actual name was David Dwight Eisenhower. And he served from 53 to 61. So this was Dwight D. Eisenhower. He's saying David Dwight Eisenhower. So he's got Eisenhower, the actual president, mixed up. David Dwight Eisenhower but he's trying to say that he was the 11th president and he served from these years. So AI is like AI's had a few too many beers here. This is just this this is just classic drunk talk right here. These programmers designing the software, they're just pouring alcohol into this AI. There is no president named David D. Eisenhower. David D. Eisenhower, who was the 11th president of the United States. Alrighty then. So I'm going to ask it, was David D. Eisenhower a U.S. president? No, he was not president. You've gotten the name from the list that I provided. The name you're looking for is probably Dwight D. Eisenhower. His actual name was Dwight David Eisenhower. That sounds about right. I'm not sure what a D stands for. Probably David, so that's probably right. Yeah, so I'm just confirming that Dwight David Eisenhower. Also, he was called Ike. That was his kind of nickname. So this actually is all correct. So you said David D. Eisenhower was a U.S. president. I apologize for the error. He was not a president, and it's saying it's probably Dwight Eisenhower, and it's apologizing for the mistake. Alright, so let's see who was the 12th president. Remember, it was David Eisenhower. James Polk. No. James Polk was the 11th. Wasn't he the 11th? I apologize. Yes, indeed. Not the 12th. He served as president, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so who was the 12th? Zachary Taylor. Finally, Zach gets the recognition he deserves from AI. Finally, after how many questions did I have to ask to find out that the 12th president was Zachary Taylor? Oh my God, AI, you are terrible. So just remember, guys, I'm going up to the original list here. If you didn't notice, then AI would lead you astray and tell you that David D. Eisenhower, great grandfather of Dwight D. Eisenhower, was president from 1849 to 1850, and not Zach Taylor. Do you want to use this program for your school work, homework? I wouldn't if I were you. Alright, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Subscribe, leave a comment, share the video. That's super important. And if you have any ideas or suggestions, anything you want me to talk about with the AI, just let me know in the comments. So until next time, see you all later.